Hey guys, how's it going today? This is Calvin going over a couple tips underneath the click, snap, capture. In this video, I'm going to go ahead and show you how to create a Hangouts overlay so that you can have a nice little slick every single time that you get into a Google Plus Hangouts. So today I'm going to be using Adobe Photoshop CS6. Let's go ahead and begin. First thing you want to do, you want to click on File, then you want to click on New. From there, you want to go ahead and give it a name. In this example, we're going to have it called Overlay. We're going to use the option here. You can select Film and Video underneath the preset. And then it's going to give you HDV, HDTV 720. If that is not the one that shows up for you, go ahead and select the menu item there. Scroll down and find that in your options. Then we're going to go ahead for background contents. We're going to go ahead and change it from white. We're going to go ahead and make it transparent. Going to leave all the other settings the same. Now, if you do not have this option underneath a preset, you can go ahead and manually set that up. You want to set your width to be 1280. You want to set your height to be 720. And then you want to set your resolution to be 72. Now once that's done, by default, since I changed the white to transparent, it became a custom. So from that point inside of Photoshop, you can hit the save preset and name it what you want, such as overlay, such as Hangouts, anything that you want to. That way you can make it easy for you to be able to remember what it is. And then at that point, it'll show up in this list here underneath custom. All right, so now that I have that set, go ahead and click OK. It's going to open up our nice little window here. Now with our window open, this is where the fun is going to begin. You can change, you can adjust, you can create anything that you want. The encouragement is that you want to make it underneath the lower 1/8 of the screen. That way your head can be up above the information that you're displaying in your overlay. So for this example, we're just going to go ahead and create it very simple. I'm going to create it in the main part of the screen, and then I'm going to go ahead and scroll it down into the area where I'm going to leave it fixed at. So in this case, it's going to be called Hangouts Overlay. And by default, the color is black. It's the last color that I had used inside of my color palette. If I want to change that, I can simply click on the little icon up here where your color palette is, and I can go ahead and select a nice color like purple. Go ahead and select whatever coloring that you fit that makes you happy. Click OK. Now that's there. Now before I go ahead and select this and commit to it, I'm now going to drag it down into the location where I roughly want it to sit at. So in this case scenario, I'm going to have it say Hangouts Overlay right by your yellow bars that's there. And then I'm going to go ahead and commit to it by clicking the check mark, commit my current edits. Now that that's done, I'm going to go ahead and create a second part of this, which is going to be a tribute to the creator of this, which is Adam Neal on Google+. So next thing I'm going to do the typing again. Now I'm going to hit the plus symbol, and I'm going to type in Adam Neal, which is how you can find him, plus.google.com/+Adam Neal. Going to go ahead and slide his name over here to the right a little bit. And I'm just going to make it slightly different, so I'm going to make it a different color. And for this one, I'm going to make it blue. So underneath my RGB, I'm going to make it 0. I'm going to tab to the next one, 0. Tab to the next one, 0. And for anyone who's not familiar with coloring, 255, 255, 255 for RGB is going to be white, and 0, 0, 0 is going to be black. So that's a quick little tip right there. So now that I have Adam Neal selected there and typed in, so I'm going to go ahead and commit. So I click the check mark. Now that that's done, now I can go ahead and double click on here if I want to. I'm going to add in different little special effects for it. So layer style, let's go ahead and do a bevel emboss. Let's select that, and we're going to change it to a pillow emboss. And we can change the coloring, multiplies, all these different things to make it something unique if that's what we really want to do. This is just for fun, so all these settings are going to be completely random. You can play around with them at your leisure to see what works best for you. Now I'm going to go ahead and do an inner glow because I always think inner glows are pretty cool. Right now it's set to a gradient, so you can select any one of the gradients that you want, or you can do it as a color. So right now the color is a yellow. I'm going to go ahead and change that color from a yellow, and let's make it a little purple. That way it goes into alignment with our previous purple. Now this is just going to be an accent purple. So as you can see there, it shows a very lightly. The opacity, we can bring it forward, we can bring it down. Right now it's set to screen. We can change any of these settings to an overlay. We can change it from an overlay to a hard mix. Different things to bring about that color in a purple there. Completely up to you on how you want to do your settings. So I'm just going to leave it at that. I'm going to click OK. So now Add O'Neill has a little highlight there. Now, one last thing that I like to do is to add a layer. Then I want to drag that layer down to the bottom. Now, once that's done, I want to go ahead and select my select button. And I'm going to highlight from right over here. I'm going to drag it all the way across the screen. So this is going to be my lower third or my lower eighth. So now with that highlighted, I'm going to click on my gradient. I'm going to select this black and white gradient that I have here, and I'm going to select from one side to the other. And now I'm going to release. And I just placed the gradient on there. That helps bring about some of this Hangouts overlay, and it also brings about the Add O'Neill. Now I'm not really liking how the Hangouts overlay is sitting on there with that gray background. So I'm going to select that. I'm going to use my move tool. I'm going to move it over just a little bit. So now overlay stands out a little bit better. Add O'Neill, let's go ahead and move that a little bit. Alrighty. So now we move that over there, made it pop a little bit more. I'm not completely satisfied with the glow, so let me go and take the glow off. And it's not the glow, it's the bevel emboss. There we go. So I can go ahead and double tick on that, and I can actually adjust the bevel and embossing more. So I can pull the depth back some, and there, make it stand out a little bit better. So now with that done, I'm happy with it. I like it for now. If I want to make changes on this again, let me go ahead and deselect. All right, so if I want to make changes on it again, one thing I want to do is I want to do a saving, and I want to save it as either a PSD file. So we're going to click on File. We're going to do a save. PSD file, it's going to be a Photoshop file. It's going to be the format that Photoshop best observes and best understands. But you can also save it as a TIFF file. Either one of these formats will allow you to keep your layers inside of your image and allow you to come back and change it and manipulate it however you like it. So I'm going to go ahead and click Save now. All right, now with my file safely, securely saved, I'm not going to make any more changes, no more adjustments to it. So I'm going to click on File, and I'm going to do a Save As. Now this is saving it in the format so that you can use it in your Google Plus Hangouts as an overlay. So now you're going to change it from a Photoshop into a PNG. It's important to save it as a PNG because it allows you to have that transparency layer be able to peek on out and be able to shine so that you can see yourself when you're doing your Hangouts. So I'm going to go ahead and leave it as overlay.png. That way I know the PSD and the PNG file are one and the same. I'm going to go ahead and click Save. I'm going to leave it as smallest and slow. I'm going to leave it as interlace. This way the interlacing looks better on the video and the file size is not important when you're doing Hangouts. So now I'm going to go ahead and click OK. Now my file is done. Now, this is the cool part. Once your file is saved, you want to go ahead and start up your Hangouts. I happen to have one going right now, and I'm bringing that on into here. So now once you're in the Hangouts, in order to do this, you want to click on your Hangout Toolbox. So the Hangout Toolbox is over here. You click on it, and by default, it's going to be on this one here, the little people person, and you're going to do Custom Overlay. You want to click Custom Upload. And from Custom Overlay, you want to select your file .png. So I went on and select Open on that. Now, by default, when you do that, it changes the name to the file name, but it does not turn it on. So what you want to do now is you want to go ahead and hit the off button and turn it on. It's like a light switch. If something is off, you're not going to turn it on. If something's on, you're not going to turn it off. You're not going to turn it on, excuse me. So if it's off, you're not going to turn it off, you're going to turn it on. And if it's on, you're not going to turn it on, you're going to turn it off. So that's what the toggle is. So it's letting you know what the current status is. So now I'm going to click on there and turn it, boop. And now my custom slick overlay is showing up. So with that, you can now go into your Hangouts and you can actually look pretty cool and you can have your own little branding going on. you have any questions, go ahead and comment below. Thanks. Have a great day. Bye.